Hello everyone. Sometimes, the pure innocence of a child can uncover truths hidden deep within the heart. Maya accidentally reveals the secret of the wedding dress. But will this bring joy or awaken pain for Haiyan's mother? In that quiet moment, laughter and silence meet, memories return like shadows, and emotions rise between happiness and sorrow. For behind every dress is not just fabric, but a story of love, sacrifice, and the fragile hope of a better tomorrow. The morning sun filtered softly through the bamboo walls, casting golden stripes across the floor where little Maya was playing with her doll. Her laughter was as bright as the morning light, filling the house with warmth. Outside, Dee was busy repairing the chicken coop, while Haiyan prepared rice in the kitchen. The quiet life they had built together carried both the weight of hardship and the fragrance of hope. But that morning, Maya's innocent voice would stir something deeper, a secret that neither Dee nor Haiyan had expected to hear so soon. "Mom," Maya called out suddenly, her tone cheerful and careless. "When will you wear the beautiful white dress Uncle Dee hid in the chest?" The spoon slipped from Haiyan's hand, clattering into the clay bowl. Her heart froze for a moment. She turned to look at her daughter, her lips parted but no words came. Dee, standing outside with the hammer still in his hand, stopped mid-swing. His face tightened, caught between surprise and embarrassment. "Maya, what did you say?" Haiyan asked softly, her voice trembling as though she was afraid of the answer she already knew. Maya, unaware of the weight of her words, continued innocently, "The wedding dress. Mom, Uncle Dee showed me once. He said one day, when you agree, you'll wear it and become the most beautiful bride. Isn't it true, Uncle?" Dee's eyes met Haiyan's through the open doorway. In that instant, the air grew heavy. Haiyan's mother, who had just arrived to visit and was sitting quietly on the bamboo bed, raised her head in shock. Her wrinkled hands clenched tightly into her lap. "A wedding dress," her mother whispered, her eyes narrowing, voice trembling between anger and sorrow. "Haiyan, is this true?" Haiyan felt her chest tighten. She had never spoken to her mother about Dee's silent sacrifice, about the nights he stayed awake building the house, or the days he carried burdens so she and Maya could live without fear. She had never dared to confess the growing bond between them, worried her mother would see it as betrayal to her painful past. And now, the truth had slipped out not through her lips, but through Maya's innocent joy. "Mother," Haiyan began, tears forming in her eyes, "it's not what you think. Dee has only ever wanted to protect us, to give Maya a safe home. I never meant to hide anything from you." But her mother's voice cut sharply through her words. "A widow does not easily wear a wedding dress again. Do you think love is so simple? Do you think life will forgive you so easily?" Dee stepped forward, his voice firm yet gentle. "Mother, please. I never wanted to cause pain. I only wanted to build a future for Haiyan and Maya. The dress, it was my foolish dream. If it brings sorrow, I'll put it away forever." Silence filled the room. Maya, sensing the tension, pressed her doll tightly to her chest, her eyes wide and confused.
Finally, Haiyan's mother sighed deeply, her stern gaze softening as it fell on her granddaughter. "All I want is for you not to suffer again, Haiyan. If this man can carry your burdens and protect Maya, Then maybe the wedding dress is not a curse, but a chance. Tears spilled down Hyan's cheeks. She reached for her mother's hand, whispering, "Mother, I only want peace, nothing more. If love comes quietly and truly, can it not also be accepted?" In that fragile moment, the house was filled with both pain and hope, pain from wounds of the past, and hope that perhaps, at last, healing could come in the form of a white dress hidden away, waiting for its day of light. The air in the small house grew still after Hyan's trembling words. Outside, the sound of birds returned to the bamboo grove, their chirping soft against the heavy silence. Hyan's mother sat with her eyes lowered, as if searching through memories too heavy to bear.
Dee stood quietly by the doorway, his strong hands scarred from labor, yet now helpless. He had faced storms, hunger, and endless toil, but the gaze of Hyan's mother felt like the greatest test of all. At last, her mother spoke, her voice softer than before. "Hyan, you suffered so much in the past. I feared you would never smile again. I feared no man could truly cherish you. That's why my heart resists, why I cannot accept so easily." Hyan knelt beside her, holding her mother's fragile hand. "Mother, I know your fears. But look at Maya, see how she laughs again, how she feels safe. It is because of Dee. He carried earth and stone, raised this house, and gave us a life without fear. Isn't that the love you always wished for me to find?"
Maya ran to her grandmother's side, her innocent voice breaking the silence. "Grandma, Uncle Dee takes care of me. He even said if monsters come at night, he will protect me. Please let Mom be happy." The old woman's lips trembled. Slowly, her eyes lifted to meet Dee's. For the first time, she did not see only a man of struggle, but a man whose quiet strength held both tenderness and sacrifice. Dee bowed his head respectfully. "Mother, I do not ask for your blessing for myself. I ask only that you trust I will never abandon Hyan, never abandon Maya. If it takes me a lifetime to prove it, I will." Tears welled in the old woman's eyes. She reached out and placed her hand over Hyan's and Dee's, uniting them in her fragile grasp. "Perhaps," she whispered, "this wedding dress is not a burden after all. Perhaps it is a symbol of a new beginning. If your happiness is true, then my heart will try to accept." Hyan's tears fell freely as she leaned her head against her mother's shoulder. Dee's chest swelled with a quiet relief he could not put into words, and little Maya clapped her hands, her laughter echoing like sunlight breaking through clouds. The secret of the wedding dress had brought both pain and tears, but in the end, it carried the seed of acceptance. Within that humble home, love was no longer hidden, it had found the courage to be seen. Outside, the wind rustled through the palm leaves on the roof, carrying away the last remnants of fear. What remained was hope, fragile, but shining like a white dress waiting for its day in the light. The days that followed carried a new, tender rhythm. Though nothing was spoken openly, there was a quiet shift in the house. Hyan's mother no longer frowned when she saw Dee carrying heavy loads for the new chicken coop, nor did she scold Maya when the little girl chattered happily about the wedding dress. Instead, she watched in silence, her old heart caught between worry and reluctant hope. One morning, as the mist still lingered in the valley, Hyan's mother sat outside weaving a small mat. Dee approached respectfully, his voice low. "Mother, I plan to visit the market tomorrow. If you allow, I will buy a few things, simple things, for the wedding."
Inside, Hyan heard their voices. A wave of both joy and unease swept through her chest. Joy because the man she had come to love was being accepted, little by little. Unease because she knew her mother was right. The villagers often whispered about her past, about the scars she carried. Would they mock her if she wore white again? That night, under the dim light of the oil lamp, Hyan sat quietly, mending Maya's small school shirt. Dee came in from outside, his clothes smelling faintly of earth and smoke. He sat beside her, his eyes gentle. "Hyan," he said softly, "don't be afraid of what others say. They don't know our journey. Let them talk. Our happiness doesn't belong to them, it belongs to us." Her eyes filled with tears. But Dee, wearing a wedding dress again, will it bring joy? Or will it bring shame? He took her hand, rough with calluses like his own, and pressed it to his chest. "To me, it will only bring joy, because when you wear it, it will not be a dress of the past, it will be a dress of survival, of courage, of love."
Hyan looked at him, her heart trembling. For the first time, she allowed herself to imagine it fully, standing beside Dee, Maya holding her small hand, her mother watching with quiet acceptance. Perhaps it was possible. Perhaps joy could outweigh pain. Outside, the moonlight fell softly on the newly built house, on the small chicken coop, on the tiny garden beginning to bloom. Life was still poor, still uncertain, but inside that home, something stronger than poverty was being built. Trust. And somewhere in the chest, wrapped carefully beneath layers of cloth, the white wedding dress waited, not as a secret anymore, but as a promise.
Life often surprises us in ways we least expect. In Hyan's story, the secret of the wedding dress was revealed not through careful planning but through the innocent voice of a child. What seemed like a mistake turned into a moment of truth, where emotions of joy, pain, and fear blended together. From this, we are reminded that the path of love is never built on perfection, it is built on honesty, trust, and understanding. A wedding dress is not only a piece of fabric, it symbolizes a promise, a dream, and a new beginning. Yet, when the secret came out, it revealed the fragility of human emotions. Hyan's mother was caught between happiness for her daughter and the painful weight of past fears. But what matters most is how the family faced this truth together with courage and compassion. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Love must be nurtured with sincerity. Secrets may sometimes protect, but they can also wound when uncovered unexpectedly. True strength lies not in hiding our feelings, but in sharing them with those we trust. And when misunderstandings arise, forgiveness and patience become the bridges that heal. In life, joy and pain often walk hand in hand. But when a family chooses love over fear and hope over doubt, even mistakes can turn into blessings. Hyan's journey reminds us that happiness is not about avoiding difficulties, but about embracing them with a heart willing to forgive, protect, and believe in the future.